Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TMT News with this very important news broadcast. I'm your host for the night, Thomas Good. Tonight's broadcast features our nation's dilemma on drone usage in the military. Tonight's guests are Dr. Meow, a weapons specialist for the United States Air Force, and President Michael Carrion. Before I introduce Dr. Meow, let's briefly go over drone history in the past decades. If you don't know, drones are unmanned aerial vehicles, otherwise known as UAVs, that is usually under real human control and no human pilot on board the aerial vehicle. As of right now, the U.S. law enforcement is greatly expanding its use of domestic drones for surveillance and security purposes. The first recorded use of attack drones occurred on August 22, 1849, when the Habsburg Austrian Empire launched 200 pilotless balloons armed with bombs against the revolution-minded citizens of Venice. Today, drones are commonly used for the military and surveillance. In the military, there are multiple types of drones with many uses. Here to introduce and explain these drones is Dr. Meow.
What's up, bro?
What's up?
Hello, Thomas. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Let me first start off and say the word drone is a very vague way of describing them. There are two types of drones. Combat drones, which are used by the military to take out enemies with as little casualties as possible, and there are surveillance drones used by military and national government to spy on enemies in foreign nations. The most common combat drones are the Hunter Killer, the MQ-1 Predator drone, and the MQ-9 Reaper drone. I have prepared some of the clips to show you.
The first clip is showing the MQ-1 Predator drone in action, showing how it can take out an enemy target from above. This second clip is showing the MQ-9 Reaper drone in action, showing how you can still fire from above like the MQ-1 Predator drone, but you have way more control. Notice how you can go in and directly zoom in and target at the enemy, highlighted by the red square.
How about those surveillance drones?
I was getting there. The most common drone used for surveillance by the government and military are the UAV, the Stealth Sentinel, and the Giant Global Hawk, which can stay aloft for 24 hours.
As depicted here, the UAV highlights where enemies are on a map, and as you can see, it shows by the red dot where enemies are, and no matter where you move, it'll still show where they are. This is what we use now for surveillance in the military and also for spying. We use a satellite in space and look down, and as you can see, we get pretty good quality and we can see where enemies are and where they are and tell the military to go and strike whenever needed.
Well, thank you for coming by, Doctor, and informing us on drones.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me here. Oh yeah.
Okay. I am proud to introduce the President of the United States of America, Michael Carrion.
Hello, Mr. Good. Thank you for having me here. Let me first start off by saying thank you to all Americans who voted and got me elected to office. And thank you for my family for always being there and supporting me.
In the past couple of years, drone usage and the use of drones in the military has become increasingly controversial in the eyes of all Americans, almost as much as gay rights and abortion.
I concur with this statement in the fact that over time controversy has grown, but it isn't my fault. I have tried to increase support and funding for this program through many proposed bills, but I haven't been able to get anything done due to the bipartisan gridlock in both the House and the Senate. This is why I'm going to issue an executive order on June 12th to allow both the Department of Defense and the FAA to authorize the use of drones in combat situations and integrate the policy for aerial-type drones for spying. I am also working with the Department of Health and Human Services to help increase public drone usage of drones, such as Amazon using drones for delivering packages and ESPN drones to fly above fields and capture game footage. Lastly, I'm going to work with the FCC to increase public awareness of what these drones can do. The future of these drones through many marketing techniques such as commercial, billboards, and more.
Sounds good, Mr. President. You have a lot of ideas to help shape public policy, especially through the bureaucracy. Using the bureaucracy will help you make the policy that you want with you being able to jump over the big hurdle of Congress.
Thank you. I hope we can get all these ideas through and put in effect by next year. I have taken many polls by the constituents that I serve in many states and found that roughly 65% of Americans support drone usage in the military against terrorism in other countries. Yet I have the proposed budget for the military from the OMB and then waiting on Congress approval since they have the power of the purse.
Well, Mr. President, you have many ideas and policies that, as an American, I hope get passed. Thank you for coming by and going over your agenda for the next couple of months.
Thank you for having me and letting me share my policies today. Also, thank you to all the men and women serving the military to keep us safe.
Thanks for coming by, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Good.
When we come back, we will have sports, stocks, and more.